Happy 50th anniversary, Community Action. For those of you I haven't yet met, I'm Jeannie Chaffin, the Director of the Office of Community Services at the Administration for Children and Families, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Every day when I walk through the doors of ACF, I'm cognizant of the legacy set by my predecessors, including the leaders of the earlier Office of Economic Opportunity. Many ACF programs have their roots in the Economic Opportunity Act, including the Community Services Block Grant, Head Start, and the Administration for Native Americans. Throughout the year, we at ACF, along with our partners out in the states and community action agencies, have been commemorating the 50th anniversary of the many War on Poverty programs that were passed in 1964, with the goal of both looking back at where we have come from, but also looking forward to make sure we are incorporating the latest thinking about the current state of poverty, opportunity, and mobility. We, the Community Action Network, must continue to innovate in response to our customers' needs, and we are on the forefront in many areas, including efforts to further the Affordable Care Act through outreach and enrollment, improve services for veterans, and via a two-generation approach to working with children and their parents. The ACA is essential to not only improving our country's health, but also our financial security. I know that in the first round of Navigator Awards, several community action agencies received grants from either the state or federal levels, including Western Maine Community Action, Community Action of Nebraska, Little Dixie Community Action, the Minnesota Community Action Partnership, the South Dakota Community Action Partnership, the Illinois Association of Community Action Agencies, Greater Lawrence Community Action Council, and Benton Franklin Community Action Committee, to name just a few. Several of you are also serving as certified application counselors and in-person assisters, and we've learned that in 10 states, almost all local agencies are engaged in ACA work. And in another 10 states, approximately 1/3 of the local agencies are engaged. We eagerly anticipate this year's round of awards and designations, knowing community action should again be well represented. You have been a critical resource for ACA outreach and enrollment, and I know you will continue to be. Thank you for your work to date and for your commitment to improving the health and well-being of the customers you serve every day. Another area I'd like to highlight includes work with veterans and their families who are homeless or at risk of homelessness, helping them end their housing crisis and stabilize their situation. Through a grant from the Department of Veterans Affairs, namely the Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, the Community Action Partnership is working with several local agencies on this critical work, including Washington Hancock Community Action Agency in Maine, Northeast Florida Community Action Agency in Jacksonville, WSOS Community Action in Fremont, Ohio, Eastern Carolina Human Services Agency in North Carolina, which is right outside Camp Lejeune, Missouri Valley Community Action Agency in Marshall, Missouri, and Macomb Community Services Agency in Michigan. The two primary forms of assistance include homelessness prevention efforts as well as rapid rehousing. I want to commend the local community action agencies for taking on this tough challenge and giving back to those who have sacrificed so much for our country. Know that the administration considers this work to be a top priority. Another area I'd like to share with you is about the exciting brain science that's been emerging to support a two-generation approach that has the potential to break the cycle of poverty. This work is evolving and is a science-based theory of change that identifies risk and protective elements for the healthy development of vulnerable children. The work in this field includes building adaptive capacities and executive functioning in parents, which some believe not only helps parents protect their children from toxic stress, but also increases parent employability and economic stability. We at ACF are looking to further the evidence based around this approach, as our Office of Planning, Research, and Evaluation awarded last year 5-year grants related to two-generation approaches that will examine the role that Head Start can play in promoting family well-being including health, safety, financial security, and school readiness. Northwestern University is one of 4 grantees and is partnering with the Tulsa Community Action Project's Education Pathways program to strengthen this 2-generation education program and conduct a randomized trial of its impact on parents and their children in CAP Tulsa's Head Start and Early Head Start programs. From where I'm standing, if investments in early childhood are being made, and the science tells us parents are critical, perhaps community action should be considering new and more robust parent interventions. Over the last 2 years, the Office of Community Services has been deeply engaged with the CSBG network in enhancing accountability and improving systems to measure performance. We and our partners have been busy building new systems of accountability at the local, state, and federal levels. Thank you for your partnership during this process. You have demonstrated your strong commitment to making sure every American living in poverty has access to high-quality community action agency services. Going forward, we as a network are better positioned to be even more efficient and effective with our resources. In March 1964, President Johnson delivered a special message to Congress proposing a national war on the sources of poverty. In his speech, the President laid out a powerful vision of an America where the doors to opportunity and prosperity would be opened for those who have been kept on the outside. President Johnson believed we needed a chance to test our weapons, to try our energy and ideas and imagination for the many battles yet to come. He knew conditions would change and hoped our experiences would illuminate our difficulties, allowing us to modify our strategies. Over the last 50 years, community action has evolved as the needs of communities and families have changed. Much has been achieved, but we know we must do more. So as we look back on how far we have come these past 50 years and look forward as to how we might shape the future, let's continue to assess current and future conditions, learn from our experiences, and modify our strategies so we achieve the very best results possible for all Americans. Thank you.